understand the story of Masada, and I always say, if you want to really feel Israel, you have to visit the Temple Mount, the Holocaust place, and Masada. That is sort of the core of the story, which gives you different aspects. And when I talk about Masada, I'm talking about a king. I'm talking about two main periods. 2,000 years ago, King Herod, and 70 years later, after he dies, the last place where Jews are still alive and acting as autonomy, as free people in their own country. So after that, we're talking of a time of 2,000 years that the Jews are in exile. And here's something that is unbelievable. How the Jews, for 2,000 years, without the country, without their language, and without the central leadership, were successful to keep together, come back and get back to that country. And this is, I'll start with King Herod. King Herod, who was he? Well, his grandfather was an Edomite, probably a king. If not a king, then at least in charge of a very big area, not far from the road Tel Aviv, Jerusalem on the south side, called Marasha. It was the grandfather who decided, came to the Edomites, who were very close to the Jews at the time, and said, we want to join Judea. There was no more Israel. There were the only two tribes left, Judea and Benjamin. And they formed the country named Judea. And here, the Edomites decided to join Judea and become Jewish. So the grandfather of Herod and his father moved to Jerusalem, as they were very wealthy, and lived together with the aristocrats, with the wealthy people in Jerusalem. They lived in Jerusalem, and Herod was born, probably already born as a Jew. At this time is when the Romans are taking over the whole area. And the Romans, they had a different kind of system in order to reign and control their provinces, because they were all over, from England and Germany and France and Turkey, all the way to Judea. They were a big empire. How do you keep peace in this big empire? And here they come with an amazing trick. They took the boys of the aristocrats at the age of 10, about 10, and sent them to study for free in the gymnasium in Rome. Why would they do that?
Brainwash them. Brainwash them?
Brainwash them, or make them with a Roman, adopt the Roman customs and identity. Now, those boys met also boys from the other provinces, from England, from Germany, from France, and so on. They were together. Together also with boys, Roman boys. Remember the car that was crushing the floor yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes. Back to the story. So, Herod and his brother are being sent to Rome, and they share a tent or a room together with even Roman boys their age. And we believe that he was really close, because of that, to two Roman kids or boys at their age. One of them was Augustus, and the other one was, anyone knows? No? Who was the lover of Cleopatra?
Mark Antony.
Mark Antony.
Richard Burton.
Yeah. That's the Hollywood version.
Mark Antony. Mark Antony and Augusta may have shared the room with Herod. Why do I say that? Because later on, when they were a little bit over 20, they came to the Senate and said, we recommend to have Herod in charge of Judea. We recommend to have Herod in charge of Judea. And Herod, when I say Herod, I always mean Herod the Great. Then his sons were called also Archelaus, Herod Archelaus, Herod Philippus, and we'll go to those areas too, but I'm talking about Herod the Great, Herod the father, Herod who wanted to kill Jesus when he was born in Bethlehem. Now Herod is coming to reign in Judea, and being
Texas?
yeah, how about I'm in the middle of a thank you. I mean, you have to tell it. You listen, unless you don't. Okay, back to the story. So Herod, where was I?
Herod the Great.
Herod is now being the king over here, although the Jews don't like him. They don't like him because he is not deeply rooted. He doesn't belong to the dynasty that goes back years and years, even to David. But he takes over, and so it's not only the Christian who dislike him, also the Jews. He's trying to satisfy, first of all, the Romans, but also the Jews. And this is why when we were at the Temple Mount, he comes to the Jews and says, in order to buy the sympathy, I'll build for you the temple. And he makes an incredible building. If you go and learn about the plan of what he has done and see how it was, you won't believe it. It was one of the nicest buildings in the world at that time. He invested everything he had in it in order to buy the sympathy of the Jews. Yet, he was afraid to be killed, murdered. Because at that time, you remember the story of Caesar, Ete Brutus, says Caesar, when his best friend stabbed him with a knife. Which means Herod was a paranoid, maybe had the right to be a paranoid, and he killed anyone who threatened his crown. He killed even 3 of his sons. He killed his beloved wife, Miriam. And then made the whole country moan for 7 days and not go to work after he killed her. So that was Herod. In fact, when the General Chief of Staff of Rome came to visit over here and met Herod, and Herod showed him all what he has built in Caesarea Maritima that we'll see tomorrow, and he's built palaces in Jericho, and he has built in Hebron, and he brings him over here to Masada. And when Agrippa goes back to the Senate to report his trip to Judea and tells them about Herod, he said, it's better to be Herod's dog than his son. So you understand who Herod was, and this is what I'm telling you a little bit more about Herod, because I want you to understand when we visit over here, who's the person behind what is built over here. He was a paranoid, and he builds himself lots of hiding places all over the country. But one, by the way, is very close to Jerusalem, which we know he used. Here, he sends his people and says, find me a place where I can stay for many years, in case I need, until the Romans will come back, save me, and crown me back. And they walk in the desert, the people he's sending, and they find this mountain that stands on its own. Now, where is Jerusalem? Could you point out more or less where Jerusalem is? Remember, one of my commanders at the time said, we're attacking over there. We said, no, it's over there. He said, no, I meant with this hand. So now I see the same thing. People doing with both hands. Just to be yes, Jerusalem is over there, And how long would it take to come here? With a camel, walking?
Camel?
2 days.
2 days.
Hmm? Month, a week? It will take 1 day from Jerusalem to Jericho, bed and breakfast. You get up in the morning,
No,
you get
on a
to
camel.
Engedi,
You said on a
bed
camel?
and breakfast. Yeah, okay.
1 day on a camel?
No,
It's only 20 miles.
Oh,
20 miles. Hey, listen, we are different kind of people. They used to walk 100 miles a whole week from the Nazareth to here, to Jerusalem. We are completely difficult for us to understand distances and so on at that time. Anyways, yes, and another day from Jericho to Engedi, where we were. This is why I'm pointing it out to you. You can even see it on a clear day. And then you walk over here. You get here about noon. Until you climb up, it's late afternoon.
Why did you take us an hour and 15 minutes? Here and about.
Because we were driving 180 kilometers per hour. That's
It's like the camel goes faster.
I said 3 days.
3 days, oh.
I said 3 days.
I know you
I
did.
said 1 day from Jerusalem to Jericho. Second day, Jericho, Engedi. Third day, Engedi. Okay, but I'm sure you can make it in 1 day walk. No, you can actually. If you remember, I said
but we
you
have
go
a
to the
road to
Kidron
go, I
Valley.
know,
So
yeah.
it takes more than anyway. But this is really okay. But let's go back to the story. So he builds over here. He gets to this mountain, and he orders his engineers, the people, you build a wall. A wall, I said, double wall. Look over there. You see double walls? And 36 towers along those double walls. Why double walls, actually? He wasn't afraid to be attacked only from the outside, also from the inside. Okay, so the mountain itself, you can see a model over here of that, is about 600 meters times 3 is 1,800 feet long, and half of that width, the double walling, the towers. We came up with a cable car to here, and we will visit just this part, which is the most important part. Why? Because this is where most of the story takes place, especially the story of Herod. And this is how it was at the time of Herod. This, they have a fortress over here. Desert is a border. Remember, animals, horses, and the many soldiers that had to have water and food, where would they get the supply? No wood over here to build all kind of things. It all becomes very difficult, and this place is one of the best places to hide. And this is actually a hiding place for him. What would be the biggest problem in order to survive here?
water.
Water, not to get it up, to get water here. Up or down? Okay, water. So he calls his engineers and says, listen, I want to have here water that would keep me for about 3 years. And I'll give you 24 hours to find a way how to get enough water so I can survive. Yeah, I'm moving in a second. And I'm just ending it. So, אני כבר זז, בסדר? שנייה, עד שהם יגיעו. We have 24 hours before you get me a plan. If not, I chop your heads off and I'll find other engineers who will find a solution for that. Now, you think he was cruel?
No. He had to survive
Okay,
here.
I'm giving you 24 minutes to find out how to get water over here for 3 years.
What about a cistern?
I'll give you a few hints. You can drill
Cistern?
down all the way to China and won't find water.
Oh, cistern.
You can't drink this water.
What about a cistern? Rainwater.
Rain, good idea. It rains here for more than 15 minutes every third year. Let's go. Let's go, 24 minutes starting now.